it was an entertaining college basketball game, that's for sure. When Michael Walker released that ball, I was going down to Coach Dickey, thinking I was going to, congratulate him on a great effort, but we were winning the game. And ball back rimmed, and I'd want Michael taking that shot again. I was proud of the way we executed in the last late game situations to put ourselves in position to win. You got to give, before that, Papa D was unbelievable. 23 points, 11 rebounds, 6 offensive rebounds, 3 assists, 7 blocks, 2 steals. He was terrific. And our defense at the three-point line and boxing out, to me, that's where that cost us. They shot 56%, 58% from the three-point line, had 15 offensive rebounds. On the flip side, we had open looks by great shooters, and the ball didn't go down. We didn't shoot like we normally do from the three-point line, nor the foul line. And, that's where the game is. It comes down to, it's a performance. And it's like, I've said this before, it's like a Broadway play, sometimes you hit your notes, sometimes you hit your lines just right, sometimes you don't. And tonight, we were a little off from the three-point line and the foul line. And on the flip side, they were on from the three-point line and the foul line. And I give Coach Dickey and his team a lot of credit, especially in light of their 2 post players not being with them on this trip. Any questions?
Today, y'all really went after the paint hard. Y'all had 34 points in the paint. Was that something that by design y'all wanted to do, or is that just what the game dictated?
Well, we always want to go with the paint first and foremost when you have someone like Papa Dia inside. And if he's so unselfish that if he doesn't have a shot, he'll hit the open man. In light of their 2 big guys not making the trip, Washington and McNeil, we felt we wanted to even go inside more because their lack of size and strength, and they didn't have the depth inside. So it was even more of a focal point.
You said you had confidence in Mike shooting that 3 at the end of the game.
Oh, no question. Yeah, Mike. The first option of the play was Rob. Second option is Colin, and the third option was Justin coming off for a handoff and making a play. Mike was wide open. That ball hit back rim. I mean, it was right on the money. Literally, I was walking down thinking we had just won that basketball game. So that's the fine line of athletics. That's the fine line.
You got 7 blocks from Pop today. Have you been asking him to put more of a focus or change his approach defensively that led to that kind of performance?
Well, I don't think that led to it. I don't want to take the credit. I've asked him to be more active. I think he can be a better shot blocker than he has, even though he's one of the best in the league. But averaging 1.5 blocks with the minutes he's playing, as long and as athletic as he is, he should have more than 1.5 blocks per game. So he gave us 7. But that doesn't surprise me from him. Pop's been real conscientious of trying to improve. And, you see his hook shots, you see his demeanor, his approach to the game, and then things like blocking shots, So I think he's just understanding the little nuances of the game that can make a guy go from a good player to a great player.
Coach,
Let me interrupt, sorry to interrupt. We beat Memphis Wednesday. He played 37 minutes, I think. On Thursday, we practiced again and went about an hour and 37 minutes. I said, Pop, you don't have to do much today in practice if you don't want to. And he said, no, I want to go. And he jokingly said, we're animals. And that's great leadership. He came out in our warm-up drills and was the one going the hardest. And that's when you have a good leader. Sorry, Tom.
On the three-point defense, it's almost like they were daring you to, come on out and stop us. This is what we're doing.
Right.
What was involved with that? Why
Well,
couldn't you guys?
I think they're good dribble penetrators. Brown and Nixon are very good at penetration. And so then you guard the dribble penetration, and then, they kick it out. And for an open three. So you may guard the ball well or have to help, and then they find, they beat you on the help. And they got one on a flare screen, which probably shouldn't have happened. And they have good count. He's a good coach. You help on one thing, and we try to do it. You try to burn the help. So if you help, they try to burn the help. So one time they dove somebody into the paint. We helped a little bit. They skipped it across to Brown, who hit like a 25-footer in front of their bench. Statistically, they haven't been shooting that well from the three-point line, nor the foul line. Statistically, we've been shooting better. So you also have to play stats, and sometimes, it's a team that's hot. And I also think when a team loses one or two key guys, everyone else picks up the energy and say, okay, we got to pick up the slack. And they didn't feel sorry for themselves. It wasn't like, from what I understand, McNeil, it happened Thursday, where all of a sudden he's not going to play. So it's not like it happened where they got injured in the first quarter or, was sent home this morning. So they had some mental time to prepare for that. And these guys won the league last year. Adam Brown, my assistant, Jerry Hobby, Nixon and Brown were two key components to last year's Conference USA Championship run. So they're not afraid, and they made big plays.
How much did Coach Hobby help in preparation for this game?
Oh, it was his scout. So he has an understanding of the personnel, but it's a different coach.
Sure.
So it's different plays, different philosophy. And I've coached against Coach Dickey before when I was an assistant at Kansas, and he was at Texas Tech. And he's an Eddie Sutton disciple, and you see that in his plays, a lot of the same plays. And they're good sound plays, good sound defense. But it's a performance. They don't have to hit all the threes. We don't have to miss all the threes. And they don't have to make all their foul shots. We don't have to miss, 6 foul shots. So, but it was a good game. It was a good game.
Justin Haynes 0 for 4 from the free throw line. How much does that affect his playing time there late in the game?
It affects it a little, significantly when you have the ball and you say, okay, if they're going to foul him, we want to have a better foul shooter in it. And so it's something that he has to continue to work on, and he will. He puts in the time. I thought he gave us a big lift running the team and also defensively, but it hurts late in the game when we scout too. Okay, that guy's struggling for the foul line. If he's got the ball, foul. So we didn't want to put it Jeremiah, and Jeremiah made a nice play. Then I put Justin back in for defense.
Right now, Colin Mangrum has played 2 solid games in a row. Do you think he has the potential to be the solid, third or fourth scorer on this team like you've been
He's
looking
actually
for?
played, this is his 3rd solid game. He played well at Tulane, even though he didn't score a lot. He goes 1 for 6. Mike Walker goes 1 for 6. That's not happening. I've got my college degree at North Carolina, 2 for 12. That's not happening on a regular basis. And so, he played terrific, I thought. He active, obviously, a little too active on the offensive boards and should have let a couple of balls go, but you can't fault his effort and what he's doing for our team. He played 40 minutes. Here's a kid that goes from, I think he played 2 minutes against Mississippi to, I don't know, maybe he played against Tulane to
31 and 40.
Yeah.
I mean, defensively, you talk statistically, but defensively, you guys are pretty good.
Yeah.
There's just some lapses tonight that
what are you going to give up? You give up hopefully a contested 3, and they had some open 3s that I didn't like, but again, we held them 40% from the field. That's pretty good defense. I don't like giving up 70 points, but our defense was very good against Memphis, and I thought our defense was decent tonight. I'll have to watch the film. I don't like giving up the big number from the three-point line, and I don't like giving up 15 offensive rebounds. Those are the two defensive numbers that really concern me.
It's the second game of 15 offensive rebounds. Over the
Yeah, we don't have a whole lot of depth up front. You know, you know that.
Yeah.
Wrote about that. And so we're asking a lot from Rob and Pop offensively. And, it's Rob and Pop go 37 minutes. That's a lot of minutes for those two guys. But I don't have a lot of options at this point.
Back to the last shot of the game, can you go talk about the clock management there, getting the ball at half court, calling that timeout? I mean, that seems to set up really
I'm
well.
real proud of the way they executed. I played for Dean Smith, and there's no one better than late game situations of milking the time. And those are plays, for the most part, that he is, I ran as a player. And it was neat to see our team prepared and execute. That's all you can do, is put them in position to win. And we've practiced those more than we have ever since I've been a head coach. And sometimes it never comes up in the season. But when it does, it's nice to say, all right, we're running this, and everyone knows where they're going. And there's no panic. And that was the beautiful thing about Coach Smith in a huddle. He'd smile and he'd say, okay, we're going to do this. We're going to run, 45T, and then into, whatever, triangle. And we always felt like we were going to execute and get and win. And so I was proud of the guys to be in a position to win. It would have been a pretty neat shot. And I wouldn't do anything differently.
This year in Conference USA, you got pretty much everybody beating everybody. You beat Memphis,
Right.
Houston beat UCF. Do you feel like, this conference is more wide open than it has been
No
in the past?
question. I think it's compressed. Like Memphis isn't what they were 2 years ago, but neither are probably we. Us, Rice, whoever was at the bottom. So it's really compressed. And you see, like you just mentioned, Rice played Southern Miss close at home. UAB, UTEP, double, triple overtime. We beat Memphis. You're exactly right, and that's why the performance part is so key. Why do people perform? Well, when the lights are on. Sometimes it's biorhythms, sometimes it's sleep, sometimes it's illness, sometimes it's who knows. And you just have to, and I told the team after the game, you just have to keep doing the right thing each and every day to put yourself in position to perform well. And, the cards will fall as they may. And tonight, I thought we didn't necessarily perform. We didn't hit the notes. We maybe missed the line, in the play. But, Rob, Colin's a better shooter than that. Mike's a better shooter than that. We're a better foul shooting team than that. But we didn't hit those notes like we normally do. And I don't think there's anything in our preparation. I think we do everything again. It's just, that's college basketball. It's the best reality TV there is.
You mentioned Colin